dating. How's it different in Dallas versus living in Houston? And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not. I mean, Houston is Playa Nation, Pimp C, Houston native, Slim Thug. You be seeing him in the club. Hey gems, it's Cindyrella OG and welcome back to my channel. So today guys, I'm going to be doing the long awaited video. Living in HTX versus living in DTX, which is Houston versus Dallas. This conversation comes up a lot, but a lot of people are usually very biased. And I am trying to give an unfiltered, raw opinion of why you guys should pick one or the other. And honestly, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you right now, I'm not going to pick one or the other. I'm not. I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys the facts. I'm gonna give you guys some of my experiences. I'm gonna give you guys some statistics and why these things might be relevant to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Now, wherever you plan on moving to, whether it be Houston, Dallas, Timbuktu, it doesn't matter. I need you guys to also get this streaming service called ALLBLK. Let me tell you a little about it. ALLBLK is home to the first and largest streaming service dedicated to Black TV and film. Their library features a rapidly evolving slate of popular original series, independent and studio feature films, classic and network TV shows, romantic comedies and dramas, docuseries, stage plays, international films, and way more. Now, I love ALLBLK, guys. They have tons and tons of binge-worthy content. I'm always talking to you guys about how important it is to see Black representation on TV and film, and ALLBLK gives you exactly that. Black existence is Black excellence. It just makes me happy to see people that look just like me on my TV screen. It's like I'm chilling with my homies. ALLBLK also has original series and movies. There's actually one I'm really excited to see coming out soon called Millennials. It follows the lives of four 20-something roommates, and one of them happens to be a YouTuber, guys. ALLBLK is ad-free and available for $4.99 a month or $49.99 a year if you want to save that $10. And it's so easy to access. It's available anywhere that streaming services are found. That's iOS, Android, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Roku, everywhere. Everywhere that you guys can find a streaming service, you'll find ALLBLK TV. So stream where you're celebrated all day and all night. Try ALLBLK for free for 30 days by going to allblk.tv/Cindyrella and use my code Cindyrella to get those free 30 days. Alright, so I told you guys I was going to come with facts only, and that is what I'm here to do. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, why wouldn't anyone want to live in Texas? And besides the snowstorms that we aren't prepared for, or the hurricanes, or the constant floods, or the tornadoes, or the fact that it's getting overpopulated. Why wouldn't anyone? But it's okay. I'm gonna give you reasons as to why you should want to live here. Now, I'm gonna put markers in the description box so that you guys can go ahead and go to what part you want to see in the video for what information that you're trying to look for. So let's start off with cost of living. Everybody wants to know how much it costs to live in Texas. So as of January 2021, in Dallas, the average rent goes for about $1,200. One-bedroom apartments in Dallas you can go ahead and get for about a little over $1,000 per month. Whereas two bedrooms will kind of run up to about $1,400. Now that's not bad. I would love to pay $1,400 for an apartment. I would love to. For a two-bedroom, I'd love that. And we're talking about square footage, y'all. You are not getting the New York standard closet studio apartment for $3,000. You're not getting that. So luckily, cost of living down here does increase, and that's pretty much all of the South, but Texas specifically, that's what it's looking like. Now, as of January 2021, average rent in Houston goes up for about almost $1,400. One-bedroom apartments in Houston are going up for about $1,200 a month, whereas two-bedroom apartments are going up for $1,540 a month. Now, that's definitely a jump from Dallas. So it is a little more expensive to live in Houston than it is to live in Dallas. So as far as apartments go, that is what the average cost is going to be in these apartments. Now, this is a topic that everybody was asking me about, dating. How's it different in Dallas versus living in Houston? And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not. For personal experience, I haven't really seen that much of a difference, but what I will say is that Dallas men are usually more prone to getting relationships than Houston men. I mean, Houston is Playa Nation, Pimp C, Houston native, Slim Thug. You be seeing him in the club. No, I mean literally, I have literally seen Slim Thug in the club about like twice. Yeah, I have. Honestly, when it comes to dating, Houston guys tend to like really be like a lot more flashy with their money. And what I've noticed with guys in general is that the more money that they get, especially at a younger age, the more they don't want to really settle down because they want to explore and use their money to open horizons that they couldn't before they didn't have money. You know what I'm saying? Whereas guys in Dallas, I feel like more Dallas, I'm gonna touch on this later, Dallas is more of like a family area anyway, so more people are looking to settle down in Dallas anyways. And that's what I'm just noticing from personal experience. And I mean, there's not really much more to say about dating, especially if you're looking for someone of the brown tone, you know what I'm saying? Brown skin, brown look, all that. Now, so if you're looking to date in this demographic, you're gonna be dating a little more casual in Houston than you would be dating in Dallas. Now, which is the safer city? Well, you know, on one hand, within a month of living in my apartment, I got all of my tires and wheels stolen off of my car in Houston. But on the other hand, in Dallas, I got my car broken into and all of my belongings stolen. So, for me personally, it ain't safe anywhere. But statistics wise, Plano, Texas, which is where your girl is from right here, Plano Games flexes, you already know. But Plano, Texas always ranks within the top three safest cities in the US. And that is in the Dallas Metroplex. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into why the Dallas area might be a little more safer than Houston. Not yet, I'm gonna get to it though, but not yet. So someone asked what the difference is in the culture/social scene in the two different cities. Now, Houston's culture is embedded within the city. Like, I mean, everybody practices Houston culture. Houston people have a lot of pride being from Houston. So the culture is embedded in the many different ethnicities that you'll also see in the city. For example, you might see people tend to have the same vernacular in speech and practicing AAVE that are not black in Houston. More than you would Dallas, I would say, more than I've seen in Dallas personally. But I am from the burbs. I am a burb girl. I am a suburb girl. So I haven't really seen many people in Dallas, like, you know, appropriate black culture, but black culture is very much embedded in Houston. So that tells you something a little bit about that. The culture is like all around the city, all around. And it doesn't matter where you go, whether you're in Katy, whether you're in Pearland, whether you're in Sugar Land, whether you're in Houston, actual Houston downtown, you will see that the culture is embedded everywhere. You do hear how many people say I'm from the Missouri City? Do you know how many people say that? Travis Scott is from Missouri City. A lot of people are very proud about Houston. Now, this one is very important to me, and we're going to be talking about the weather. Weather is very important to me because I like to stay indoors most of the time, but when I am outdoors, I don't like to deal with weather I don't appreciate, which is rainy weather, stormy weather, cloudy weather, snowy weather. I don't like the cold, as you can tell. I just don't like the cold at all. But I also don't like the sweltering heat, but I'm used to it because I'm from Texas and Nigeria, so yeah, I do this. So Houston being a Gulf region is much more prone to floods, and it's very humid. So if you plan on doing a silk press, make sure you keep it wrapped up, keep it tight, because it's going to poof up. Like, that is one thing about Houston, your hair will poof up in Houston. It really will. You gotta know what you're working with. Whereas Dallas is a prairie region. So I told you guys I'm from Plano, and the city was literally named after the many plains in the city. So yes, Dallas is a very flatlandish kind of area. So you're not gonna have the same kind of floods and humidity that you will have in Houston, because we're right next to the Gulf. If y'all don't know, Galveston Beach is like right there too. That's like really, it's a beach. It's a beach. It's a dirty one, but it's a beach. Now, which is the better city to settle with a family in? Dallas, of course. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. It's not a biased thing, I promise. It's not. But Dallas is definitely the better city to settle with a family for the main reason of zoning. So Houston has freer zoning, which means that you'll see like trap house, trap house, trap house, mansion, trap house, trap house, trap house. And not necessarily actually trap house, but like, you know, you'll see more impoverished houses with literally mansions in the neighborhood, like literally in the middle of the neighborhood. And it's very interesting because, like, you know, there's no like actual boundaries and lines in Houston in terms of like their zoning. So, you know, you'll have certain like neighborhoods like Katy and Sugarland and Missouri City and Richmond. You'll have those, but also in actual Houston, you'll see a lot of everything kind of mixed up. And even in the cities, like you'll see a lot of that mixed up as well. Also, Houston's nightlife really intertwines with the city as well. So you can find bars literally everywhere and they're always open. And a lot of what Houston people do is they'll like have these restaurants and then call them like, you know, restaurant bars, but they'll actually like be like lounges and clubs and stuff like that. So they're not breaking any regulations, but you can still go turn up. Dallas's nightlife is actually still building. So whereas you can still have a good time in Dallas, you can actually keep that in Dallas. And they have a lot of more separation between the city versus the suburbs. Now, growing up in Plano, I had no idea that the whole Dallas area was a whole different kind of like, you know, vibe. It's a whole different feel than living in these suburbs, whether you're living in Frisco, Allen, Plano, any of these other places, McKinney. All of these cities are like literally suburbs and they're like kind of like around each other. Whereas like in Dallas, the more south you go in Dallas, the more you're in the less socioeconomic status area. However, Dallas is actually really, really building right now. The tech industry in Dallas is like booming, and they're gonna be the next New York in due time. They really will be, because there's an influx of younger people that are getting jobs and are moving to Dallas right now. So the tech industry that is booming is actually causing like a great migration, and a lot of people are moving to Dallas to get those jobs. Now, although they are having an influx of younger people coming into the city, I will still say that Dallas is definitely a better place to raise a family or settle down with a family, or if you want to like, you know, stand some grounds in there, definitely Dallas over Houston. Like even me personally, I wouldn't build a house over here in Houston. I would definitely build my house in Dallas. Depending on if I even want to still live in Texas, Dallas will definitely be my choice over Houston as to where I want to build a family. In terms of racial demographics, you'll see the same kind of numbers between Dallas and Houston. They don't really veer off that far. You'll find more families in Dallas rather than young adolescents living on their own. And because Houston's social scene is so accessible, like, I mean, it's everywhere. And there's so many different branches of Houston's social scene. Because their social scene is so much more accessible, you'll definitely see the Black community like stand out a lot more in Houston than you will in Dallas. They're just easier to find. And that's not like anything to say about like, oh, Dallas doesn't have a lot of Black people. That's not it at all. It's just easier to access and find in Houston rather than in Dallas. Now, what city has more to do? Either city has basically anything that you might like. You just have to be intentional with what you were looking for and what you want to find in each of the cities. So don't be afraid to join groups on Facebook or look for people on Twitter. I love meeting people on social media. I know some people can be cray-cray. I know. I'm the first one to know. But I do love meeting people through social media, and that is honestly how I've been able to meet communities in both cities. So that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what you liked about it and subscribe to my channel. And go ahead and let me know if you guys live in Dallas, if you live in Houston, what your experiences are, what you think about everything I've said, your own opinions, anything that you want to leave in the comment section down below to help out other people that might be wanting to move here. Go ahead and do so. And go ahead and check out my playlist Moving On Up so that you can too move on up. So go ahead and follow me on Instagram to go ahead and keep up with your girl. See me on everything else. Yeah, do that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay blessed and beautiful gems, and I love you so much. Smooches.
Hit me up if you wanna make love, but don't call my phone if you try to